You remember the Shire, Mr. Frodo. It'll be spring soon. The orchards will be in blossom. The birds will be nesting in the hazel thicket. They'll be sowing the summer barley in the lower fields, eating the first of the strawberries with cream. Do you remember the taste of strawberries? Do you remember our VA class of 2022? It'll be first term soon. Freshmen will be louder than ever. The athletes will be nesting around the field. And they'll be sewing loads and loads of homework in the sea people. And being the first of the Catholic utensils. Do you remember the taste of spaghetti-coated hot dogs? Just a moment. Home is a place of intangibles, a place of things beyond what can be. The RVA student does not think, ah yes, my non-denominational boarding school founded in 1906 by Trump. Instead, there's more of a reminiscence. The sunsets on the field fade just before the 7 o'clock bell. Mornings just cold enough to make you put on a jacket, even when you know that you won't want it by chai. The lively English classes. In a few short hours, we will be moving to a new home, and somehow the RVA will keep spinning on its axis of hours. Monkeys will continue to steal food and flip over trash cans in the kitchen. Upperclassmen will continue to walk straight through underclassmen groups on the sidewalks. And they'll also continue to go shopping and work. In this transition, though, we have opportunity. Imagine life as a mosaic, like the tables in our porch that have pieces of glass held in place by mortar to create an image. Now think of this world as a mosaic depicting a magnificent palace, a home beyond compare. Each place in which we live is a colored piece of the mosaic, a small individual painting that increases in detail as we further understand its culture. Many of us have crossed the mortar lines fragmented in this world, and in these moves, we've gained perspective, greater understanding. I liken this perspective to 8th graders descending from their junior high thrones at the end. Not only having to deal with the fact that they are now the smallest fish in a high school pond, but also realizing that when they thought they were kings, we all saw them fighting over broken digestive crackers. Perspective. Disclaimer, I am fully aware that I'm a high school senior about to. But what's the point of this site? Hope. This mosaic of the universe is but a blurry imitation of the grand palace of heaven to which we are going. We receive joy and confidence from the knowledge that our true home is yet to come. The splintered two-dimensional representation in which we live will come to life in a new, glorious utopia. But maybe we should be cautious getting too far ahead of ourselves. The famous American poet Oliver Wendell Holmes once wrote that some people are so heavenly minded they are of no earthly good. I would argue, however, that the more heavenly minded you are, the more earthly. Consider some titchies who watch a varsity football match against Roslyn and say, I want to put on that uniform and play on that pitch one day. So the father tells them, okay, if you want to be there someday, you're going to need to go through training. Now, when the titchies go out to the field to train with their father, they could have a couple of different responses. Let's say the first runs out into the pitch, and when his father leads him through the hard work of using his foot, he thinks, can't wait to master this to beat Roslyn. He's driven and happy to be there through the difficulty, the hope of varsity football spurring him on. At the same time, the other teacher goes out and trains his students toward by his father, but all the while he is solely focused on the present. My weak foot is awful. How am I doing this? I'm tired. Why does my dad make me do this? He goes on with it, terribly unhappy. So you see the difference between the two. Though both are doing something for their good, it's training for you. Under the guidance of a father who cares and knows what's best. First gets the joy of the process, through a hope in the future. while the other is unhappy with the present, seeing only the pain. But perhaps the Tichy whom Holmes was addressing was the one who constantly dreamt of varsity glory, but instead of training, he stayed inside on the couch playing, pretending he was messy and scoring 6 goals against the computer at amateur difficulty. Isn't he too varsity minded to be of any football good? No. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I would say that he isn't varsity minded enough, because if he truly believed the varsity jersey to be worth it, he would be exercising his legs with his thumbs. How much more does this apply to real life? Well, the Tichy's hope in making varsity is not 100% secure. Even if he trains perfectly, he might not be talented enough, or the coach might not like him, or there may just so happen to be 21 better options. Anyway, Christians' hope in heaven is 100%. We get to go through the difficult weak foot training of this life with joy in doing things for God's glory and our good under the guidance of a perfect Father who loves us and knows exactly what we need. Now, I'm not saying that the life of a Christian is all happiness and contentment at first. Life, like training, is difficult. And circumstances do have a strong impact on us. However, I believe that we should be continually striving for that persistent joy. Why? Not for some ideologic, moralistic reason, nor for the sake of simply trying to sound inspirational. In fact, I think that the better question than why is why not. Some of the descriptions of the Tichy seem to oddly specific to me. It's because I was all 3 of those Tichys wrapped into one. Unfortunately, I was probably only 10% happy Tichy, 20% unhappy but still doing something Tichy, and 70% FIFA Tichy. Yet, which accomplishment would be more satisfying and joy-producing to tell my 8-year-old self? One day, you're going to be in that jersey, playing on that pitch, and it's going to be so much fun. Or, one day, you'll beat the beginner computer to win the Champions League on FIFA. I think that the choice is clear. And yes, if you were wondering, I used to play with Manchester City so that I could be lazier. Returning to that question, why not? Why wouldn't you strive to choose the path of greatest freedom? Why wouldn't you strive to choose the path of the greatest benefit? I suppose you could look at the football example and say, but you made it on the varsity team, even without being on the happy team. To which I would reply, how much more fun would I have had on the pitch had I trained more and been able to do more? And therein lies the secret. We receive great benefit from following the training routine that our Father in heaven has specially made for us. We receive great joy from the hope and the destination for which we are trained. God is greatly glorified in the joyful obedience of his children, because the Christian's supernatural delight in their difficult training points to the FIFA-focused world. Don't settle classically. As you travel through the fractured beauty of this earthly mosaic, keep your eyes set on the palace for your joy, so that when you reach the varsity football pitch of heaven, that beautiful mansion that is hinted at for all of creation, you can say with the unicorn in C.S. Lewis's last book, I've come home at last. This is my real country. I belong here. This